Hope is like a bright star in the night sky. It's what we cling to when life's not going right. We don't always know when it will come, but when it does, it's a welcome sight. On this extremely positive note, we welcome you all to today's interview session.
Right. An escape to tranquility is one of a kind, heartful maneuver instituted to form a comfortable and safe space for all individuals who are looking for a potential platform to instill coherence, empathy, and liaison. We at Thrive endeavor to build an inclusive community for everyone while invigorating the ones in need and thereby creating a blossoming impact in the lives of many. Today, we are starting with the second session of Virtuous Tales, an initiative of Thrive, wherein we attempt to strike candid and incisive conversations with our distinguished and charismatic guest personalities. We aspire to become a helping hand to the unheard souls and aid in their development and sustenance. Now, I would like to introduce the team of Thrive, wherein we have Yash Sahu as the president, Suhani Periwal as the vice president, Kopal Goyal as the content director, Chakshu Garg and Rupayan Saha as the creatives and technical team.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
So today we're extremely excited to be speaking with Ms. Deepshikha Goswami, a mental health advocate and an entrepreneur who's here to share her knowledge and experience with us. She is the founder and CEO of SukoonGhar Organization and is also the head at Campaign Sahas. Ma'am has completed her BA honors in applied psychology from Delhi University and is currently pursuing MBA from Indira Gandhi National Open University. She specializes as a coach in law of attraction, mindfulness based CBT, emotional freedom technique, and dream analysis. In addition to it, she is a QPR gatekeeper and a clinical hypnotherapist. Ma'am has a massive experience of over 2 years in the field of mental health. Being a founder of Sukoon Ghar, she has aided numerous minds and has talked about various issues related to relationships, parenting, self love, and has actively spread awareness about sexual abuse.
Ma'am, we welcome you to today's session and we are elated to have you with us. But before that, we would like to hear a few words from you.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for this amazing introduction. And adding on to that, I'm doing a dual degree. I'm also doing MA in psychology. So hopefully, I think this will be an amazing session. And also, I'm so proud of you guys that you have taken such an initiative. You're moving ahead because as an entrepreneur, I understand it is difficult to begin. But you people have started something, and I just hope this goes ahead far long. So let's hope for the best. I'm really excited to go ahead with this.
Uh, Thank you so much, Pam, for that. We are extremely delighted to hear that. And we are sure that the viewers will definitely cultivate a fresh perspective after attending this session. So, without any further ado, let's start with the questions.
Right.
So, the first question. So, as we know that you're an experienced dream analysis coach, so could you please elaborate more about how that works and how does it help people?
Definitely. So I started with my dream analysis journey last year in around June. And what actually intrigued me about dreams was I used to get nightmares as a child. And I had many people who used to say कि कोई बात नहीं ठीक हो जाता है and after a age it gets fine. But I realized it actually doesn't get fine like that. When you go through nightmares, it's scary, it's horrific. And once you wake up after that, it's far more annoying because your mood will depend upon that the entire day. You feel bad, you feel cranky, and everything. Which just gave me an idea that I want to learn about it, I want to do something around it. And I did a dream analysis practitioner course, and it changed my life. Genuinely, that was the first step for my journey. I had never thought that I'm going to be a founder or something, but that gave me an idea. Okay, this is interesting. we can try learning about it. So what happens in dream analysis is we all get dreams. This is the secret. People say that we do not get dreams or we forget our dreams. So basically, there we talk about that everybody get dreams. It's just that due to our lifestyle, we do not remember them. And dreams are somewhat our door, as if you people are psychology students, you'll know Freud has said dreams are your royal road to subconscious. So they activate your subconscious. You can feed anything in your dreams. There have been many amazing dream discoveries. For example, Twilight, periodic table, they all have been discovered in dreams. So it is an amazing concept to learn about, and people can actually achieve a lot of real life things. For example, Yash wants to become the president of India. He can become that if he actually wants to enhance the power of his dreams. So yeah, it's an amazing concept. People can get a lot of knowledge through it. And I think why I would enhance or probably tell people to go through the idea and understand dream analysis is because it is your gateway to self-awareness. We think that dreams are these weird lunatics, and with my cat dancing on my kitchen table and eating my pizza that I kept last night. But everything in your dream has a meaning behind it. It is connected to your waking life, all the thoughts you have, all the emotions you're feeling. So once we start understanding our dreams, we get an insight to ourselves also. So I think that's somewhat dream analysis is about.
All right, that was really amazing to hear, ma'am. Because this is something that not many people are aware of, or sometimes they even know this, but they tend to ignore this fact and put it aside that, oh, nothing like this happens. But it's really nice to know that something professional, like, is actually existing related to it. So,
Also,
moving, yeah, yes.
because many people also have sleep disorders. Many people experience sleep paralysis. They start kicking in the night. They start walking in the night. So sleep disorders are a big thing in the market. I actually say many people experience the same, and it is something that people need to be know about.
Yeah, right. All right. So, moving ahead, as mentioned in the introduction, you started SukoonGhar Organization. So, can you please tell us more about it and how you started it, your journey of being an entrepreneur?
Yes. So any organization requires funding, and I started with zero because when I started, I did not had an idea of an organization. I'm not a commerce student. I don't know anything about a business, how it's supposed to be running. How I this point of time, I still think I don't have any idea how it's supposed to be running. Because, but I just started with this idea that I want to create a safe space for people who have experienced trauma. Because, and I want to develop an idea of a home. So that's where Sukoon and Ghar came in. So Sukoon is your peaceful place, and home is, it's Ghar. So that is something we developed through that idea, and we run by the logo of Think, Feel, Heal. That means that be it anything in life, you think with your emotions, you sit with them, you feel them rather than suppressing them, and you heal through that journey. So we conduct support groups, we conduct academic sessions for students who want to learn at an affordable price, online and offline, both in Delhi. And I think support groups and community, our community has been extremely loyal that we have built. Everybody comes, they share, we have a rant box on our website. Every day we receive massive rants of people talking about their life, how their job sucks, how they're tired of their family, how they want to run away. And when they come in the community and when they share, it was relieving. That achieves the main goal. So this was the idea of SukoonGhar, that we wanted to develop a safe space for people. And after that, once I got the idea, okay, this is doing good and we can expand, then we shifted into an organization. I got the organization registered. We have been accredited with Skill India, ISO, and it is MSME registered. And then we expanded to more sectors like therapy. We have now a team of psychologists all over India, both online and offline. We have therapy again in both the sectors. We have academy and we conduct campaigns because I think you beat anything you do in life, you have to contribute something to the social sector. We are stemming from there, and that is when last year we started with Sahas. It was a campaign which aimed at providing psychosexual legal aid to sexual abuse survivors. We visited slums, we visited places, and we saw more than hundreds of survivors and interacted with them. We provided them aid, and it's still a journey continuing. I hope we continue that in the future also and come up with a lot of campaigns. So that's how somewhat SukoonGhar started with my idea of safe space, and I hope that is something that we are providing to our community, and we keep doing that.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. And I mean, Thrive's perspective, I believe, greatly aligns with SukoonGhar. So I mean, that's great to hear. Also, you talked about academic sessions, right? That SukoonGhar offers. So I mean, could you? I mean, also we also sort of looked the profile, the SukoonGhar profile, and we got to know that you conduct a lot of workshops for people, right? So could you please elaborate more on that, and how can we as students, as college students, associate with SukoonGhar and to make this impact?
Definitely, we are majorly active through our Instagram. And the one thing I like personally about our organization is that we merge social and academic together. We provide psychosexual education. For example, uh, again, when we started Sahas, we did sexual abuse and mental health as an internship and workshop series where different speakers gathered. They talked about around, they took around 8 workshops, and it was under, for example, 1K or 2K, which is far, I believe, budget friendly for students because they're taking internships for 20K also. So that is something we provided them. And that is how we target our students. We want them to learn about social issues. We want them to understand the in-depth reasons behind it. And we want them to become this generation that knows how to tackle these issues, not just probably ranting about it, but also knowing what to do. Now we have this issue. Okay, government did this, but now what to do next? So we did on sexual abuse and mental health. Latest we did on relationships and mental health last month also. We did it last year also. We have conducted various workshops over Delhi University colleges with respect to the same. Because relationships again is a topic that our youth knows about. They know how to be in a relationship. They want to be in a relationship, but they mess up at it. And that is again one concept that people need to talk about. Next month we're coming up with women and mental health, different social segments of the society that affect women and mental health, and we're going to take workshops around it. This is how we target our workshops. Internships and courses are more academically conducted. They are more directed yet towards the psychology audience, but slowly we are expanding to major different sectors also. So that's how we work. And for anybody who wants to reach out to us, they can reach out through our Instagram page or our contact number, and we are available 24 by 7 for that. Yeah.
That was really great to hear, ma'am. This is something that you guys are doing, and it's really needed for our youth generation, especially. And it's really
True.
commendable. Yeah. So now moving ahead, we also saw that you are an emotional freedom plus thought freedom tapping practitioner. So since it
Right.
seems like new term, so could you please throw some light upon it?
Definitely, definitely. So basically, what is emotional freedom tapping? We all have emotions in our body. People used to think that sub emotions they run straight from your brain, right? But once you suppress emotions, where do these emotions get stored? It is basically in your body. You know, when we experience different issues like headache, migraine, stomach issue, we have constant chest pain, many a time there is trauma stuck in those parts of our bodies which needs to be released. So there's a part where EFT or TFT, this is the short form for emotions and thought freedom tapping, comes in. What happens in basically emotion and thought freedom tapping is we understand that there are different meridian zones of your body, and through these different zones we can actually release a lot of trauma or a lot of emotions that is stuck in. So this is basically how we work. For example, we identify there are different meridian zones and we tap on those parts. For example, it can be brain, your chest, your collarbone, or probably your hands, and we tap with guided meditation. And with that, we help you, for example, deep breathe, relax, get grounded, and release trauma. So I think that is something about emotion and thought freedom tapping. We change your thoughts, we help you become more self aware and heal through the same. Yes.
All right, ma'am. And also, I mean, you talked about the emotional freedom tapping thing. Also, I mean, is it correlated with thought freedom as well?
Yes, definitely, definitely. Most thought freedom practitioners take these techniques, they learn, implement them in their different, unique ways also. Of course, both the things co-align because fundamentally, emotion freedom technique is like it's a one size which fits all approach. It manages your traumatic memories, your triggers, your negative emotions. And thought freedom tapping is more of a customized approach, which gives you the ability to really focus in on one specific emotion, on certain specific triggers when you need to. For example, right now I'm getting a trigger with respect to my parenting or childhood trauma. So right now I'm going to use TFT. And otherwise, I can just go ahead with EFT, which focuses on all the things in general. So EFT is your simplified version of TFT techniques, basically. It's an accumulation of all.
All right. So, I mean, since you talked about this, I mean, we know that many people, or even children for that matter, sometimes struggle with mental health issues, right? And it really gets difficult for them to share their issues with friends or family. So, I mean, how do you think one can communicate their problem in a better way to, let's say, their parents, especially if they aren't much open to the concept of mental health?
Okay, are we talking about children? Are we talking about teenagers? Which age group are we talking about here?
I mean, what I feel is mental health has sort of gained a lot of recognition amongst the youth specifically, right? So, I mean,
Okay,
if you could talk about with respect to the youth.
let's talk about the youth then. As somebody who has experienced severe childhood trauma, I understand even after you're going to tell all the things to your parents, you're going to try all different ways for them to love you and make them understand, okay, this is affecting me. It might not work out. The relationship still might be strangled. So I truly understand that the youth is facing because again a generational gap, technological gap, and people don't know how to communicate anymore. So what we can try here is I always tell this to everybody, start with negotiation at home. You're not going to get 100%. If you want to go out till 12 in the night and your parents don't even allow you to be out for 5 p.m., you're not going to go. That will not happen. Start with negotiation. So, be it with anything with respect to mental health, also, we can start with negotiation, we can start with awareness. We can start with small discussions. Like, for example, Mama, आपको पता है anxiety क्या होती है? And making them understand that anxiety is not a disorder. Anxiety is something basic that every human faces. When your mother feels कि मुझे बहुत घबराहट हो रही है, that is anxiety. Every human faces anxiety. Normalizing it कि आपको sad feel होता है, मुझे भी sad feel होता है. Talking a bit about emotions. Now, this is something that you can probably try at home with the idea of awareness. Watch little documentaries together. If in English, amazing. If in Hindi, start reading books together if it is possible. And if nothing works out, you have tried everything, put in everything, then understanding this is the boundary where probably you cannot change somebody, you cannot ask for help. Build a safe circle outside. It can be your friends, it can be 2 to 3 people that you love outside your family. Build a social support around you that helps you grow and heal. So that is how, if you want to tackle mental health issues, this is the first step that I'm going to tell you for you can do and try at home and for people around you, rather than just, of course, if the limits exceed, you can try therapy and everything. And many people think ki, my therapist is going to tell my parent everything that I'm taking therapy. Until and unless you're a minor, until and unless you are extremely suicidal, until and unless you are a threat to a society, the confidentiality clause is never broken. If you are not a minor, you are 18 plus, nobody is going to tell your parents that you're taking therapy. You can take therapy at your ease. It's just you can pay, you can take, and you can have your sessions easily. So I think a lot of awareness is needed in general to the youth also. So something we can do as people, as organizations, is do sessions for them. We can use street plays. We can use social media as a powerful tool to educate the youth about the same. I think once we start becoming much more self aware about our issues, our problems, the solutions to them, okay, मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आता है, तो मुझे बहुत गुस्सा क्यों आता है? I think then the change will automatically begin. And it will ease out ki why are they behaving like that, why is my mother not understanding. Once we understand why we feel a certain way, it will automatically start the mental health conversation. So yeah, this is something that I think can be done with respect to this spectrum. What do you people think is something I was also want to know. What can be done to enhance mental health conversations?
Experience that, as you also mentioned, that this is something that I have personally seen with my parents. That there's a point where they don't understand certain things, but
Right.
after few months or after few days, they automatically try to understand us more better. I mean, they also take their time basically. So starting
Hmm.
a bit by bit and negotiating with them and trying to normalize certain things, I think that is the best thing that you can do. I mean, this is something that even I do with my parents. So that is a gradual process. Even I feel that.
True, true, true. It's a gradual process. Once we begin with ourselves and with the idea that I cannot change somebody and I'm not going to go and fix my parents, you can start with a basic conversation. Start with conversations like LGBTQ. The family might not be supportive around it, but at least try. You might fail, try again later. It's a gradual process. Someday they'll obviously try again to understand a bit, a little bit. Even there's a little bit change, I think you have achieved whatever you wanted, even if there's a little bit change. Yes, let's go ahead, go.
Yes. So basically, thank you so much for this. And moving ahead. So it's quite intriguing to see that you are also a QPR gatekeeper. So
Mhm.
can you please explain its meaning so that our viewers can understand this concept in a better way?
Could you repeat your
Also,
question?
I mean, before ma'am, you answer this question, I'm really sorry to cut you. What exactly is the difference between stress, anxiety, depression, all of that?
Okay, okay. So anxiety and depressions are like two different sectors, but many at times when we talk about disorders, they go hand in hand. एंजाइटी इज योर घबराहट, हार्ट बीट बहुत तेज हो रही है, बहुत रेस्टलेसनेस हो रही है, सांस नहीं आ रही है, दिस इज योर एंजाइटी. We feel at many point of time the butterflies in your stomach that you feel before an examination. That is anxiety. Again, depression is a disorder. Depression is not just a term to be used quietly because people do use it like that. I'm feeling so depressed today. It is not a slang, it is a proper disorder. Now, one distinction I'll give here: how does anxiety turn into a disorder, or how does depression turn into a disorder? We have a DSM, it is a diagnostic statistical manual, where all the diagnostic criteria are mentioned. So, one thing we need to know is before self diagnosing is when anything starts hampering my life emotionally, physically, mentally, socially, academically, occupationally, in all the sectors, it starts affecting my life, and now it's giving a problem to me. Then there is a chance it might be turning into a disorder. आज लड़ाई हो गई है पार्टनर से और मेरा मूड खराब हो गया, उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मुझे डिप्रेशन है. But yes, if continuously every day I am having these episodes where I feel really sad, and it starts affecting my work. I'm not able to work. I'm not able to get up from the bed and go to college. I'm not able to get up from the bed and shower or brush. I'm not able to get up and eat. I am having the lack of basic hormones in my body. Then there's a probability it is turning into a disorder. We are all humans. We're going to feel sad. We're going to feel anxious before our first date, before when we are able to, we got caught when we were saying a lie or something. We all are going to face that anxiety. But if that anxiety is impacting your work, your life in all different sectors on an everyday scale, then it is something that is probably turning into a disorder. If I have answered your question right.
Yes, surely, ma'am. That was very well answered. So now I would once again like to repeat my question about that you are a QPR gatekeeper. So can you please elaborate more?
Definitely. So basically, what is QPR gatekeeper? I think this is something that everybody out there, not a psychologist who knows somebody, just do it. So QPR stand for question, persuade, and refer. These are three simple steps anyone can practice to help save a life from suicide. Nowadays, if you actually learn and talk about the topic of suicide, no matter how many mental health conversations are coming in practice, the number of suicide cases are also increasing. And you'll hear people say this, हमें तो पता ही नहीं चला that the next person was going through something because they never shared. So what happens in QBR training is you learn how to recognize the warning signs of suicide crisis and how to question, persuade, and refer someone to help. This is like a three-step journey. You question them, you persuade them, you refer them. So each year, thousands of people like us are taking their life, and we are not able to understand the reason why behind it. So through this procedure, if you know that somebody is right now in that process of they might commit a suicide, you can help them save their life. So again, what do you do as a gatekeeper? Now gatekeepers can be anyone. For people who think, do I need to be a psychology student, do I need to be a commerce student, do I need to have an MA degree? It can be anyone. But at that point of time, for example, if I am in that procedure of committing a suicide and something, it is rare that it will include friends, neighbors, teachers, etc. It will be most probably somebody else that the person has no connection with. Okay, but anybody can do this training. Anybody can learn the idea of suicide prevention. Um, yeah, I guess this is the answer. So gatekeepers can be anyone, but include parents, friends, neighbors, teachers, ministers, doctors, nurses, and like firemen, and many others who are strategically positioned to recognize and refer someone at risk of suicide. And as a QPR gatekeeper, you learn to recognize the warning signs of suicide. You know how to offer help, and you know how to get help and save a life also at that point of time. So it's an amazing thing that people should learn about. And if you think, do you need this training? Definitely go ahead, Google, learn about different crises, learn about different warning signs. There is somebody around you that might need it. So yeah, that was about QPR.
I mean, it definitely is something really interesting, and I believe we shall definitely, sort of go ahead, research more about it, and indoctrinate the same within us. So thank you for answering
Mhm.
that. Um, okay, so I mean, as we know that almost everyone has
Mhm.
certain triggering points in life, right?
Right.
And when we're suddenly triggered, we tend to react differently, and it ruins our mental space at that particular point. So, how do you think we can overcome and handle such triggering situations?
Right. So yes, I did talk about that rather than labeling emotions and I don't want to feel anger, I don't want to feel sadness right now, I don't want to feel this emotion. Take your time, sit down with this emotion, because every emotion you feel at a triggering point of time, when you feel ki, can I really react like that? I really hit that person in the face. Am I this human? I thought I was this sweet little human who would never do this. But I'm reacting so weirdly. This is not me. How could I break things? Every time you feel heightened emotion, there is always a useful emotion behind. There's something useful, there's some useful information that needs to be provided out there to you whenever you're feeling a heightened emotion. Try, sit down, first of all, feel that emotion. Okay, I am getting angry. Rather than controlling, okay, understand, it's okay to feel angry. I am getting angry. Now move ahead. Why did I get angry? What triggered me so bad? Was it that my parents told me that I'm not doing good enough and I'm trying my hardest to do good enough? Was it my teacher who said ki I am a bad student? Was it my partner who said I'm not a good partner? Was it my friends which who abandoned me just like that? And it triggered something in the past. What was it? Try understanding what triggered you so bad. Because once you understand the core or the core of that triggering point, it will ease you out. Whenever you experience the same trigger again, you'll not react the same way because you have understood the useful information behind it. That maybe your trigger was trying to tell you that, okay, Kopal, you're tired and you should take a break, that it was not your fault, that maybe you were not feeling good enough. And you understood that, okay, I was already feeling so low. And then this person said something like this, and it just triggered inside me. It is not my fault. It's not their fault. It was just a small thing, and it got triggered. And that's okay. It's okay to be triggered. It's okay to feel sad. Once you normalize those things, and this is if you can deal with this, I know it's difficult and very easy to say, but it comes with practice. You can try whenever you feel sad, rather than just listening to sad music for the starting. Sit with that emotion. You can also journal it down for yourself. Write it down on a piece of paper. Why am I feeling this emotion? This person said this, then I felt this. Write down the entire story and take out the useful information from it. That maybe I got angry because I really need a break and I'm tired of working so much. And my body is telling me कि burnout हो जाएगा, अब रुक जाओ. It can be anything. So try to understand the useful information behind it, and every time you get triggered, your behavior will automatically change. Again, a lot of self awareness is the key to everything, I just feel.
Yeah, because ma'am, I feel noticing and moreover accepting your feelings and what you're going through
Right.
is very, very important.
I think we have been so badly conditioned into thinking that we are bad people if we show anger, and we are bad people if we go out of the social norms. We are bad people if we do such things. So I think changing the core beliefs here is also an important journey. Understanding everything doesn't make you bad until and unless you're harming people and you're a threat to the society. It's not bad. It's fine. You can feel certain emotions. You can get angry at your friend. She told you that she'll be on time and she wasn't. You can be angry, but yes, you should also know how to resolve that anger afterwards, right? So, yeah.
Right, exactly. Also, ma'am, I mean, I have been wanting to ask this question from you. What exactly is the work of a clinical hypnotherapist?
Right. So basically, hypnotherapy is therapy in a trance stage. I talked about subconscious in the starting. And the difference between therapy and hypnotherapy is that therapy, we can often do talk therapy, where the client is going to come and we're going to talk about their issues and we're going to identify different patterns and everything via talk. Now, what happens with clinical hypnotherapy is it is like a mind body intervention where the therapist is going to put the client into a trance state. What is a trance state? It is a dream-like state. You know, when you go to sleep, if somebody enters your room, you have an awareness that my mother might have entered my room last night, but you do not just wake up and interrupt your mother all the time. So it is a trance-like stage where you're extremely relaxed, you're extremely aware. People think, oh, what if I go to the trance state and I never come back? What if I'm hypnotized forever? You will know all my secrets. It's never like that. You have complete awareness. Where am I sitting right now? Who is talking to me? What am I listening? Everything you're thinking. It's just that you're so relaxed. Your body is finally so much at ease that you do not want to get up and you say things out. So it is hypnosis is a change state of awareness and increased relaxation, which allows for improved focus and concentration. Why I did hypnotherapy was because it is faster than talk therapy. The results are much more faster. It comes in lesser sessions because we work straight with your subconscious, because we're going to relax your mind, we're going to feed whatever we have to, and we're going to identify issues much faster, especially if we have a lot of childhood trauma and everything. But I would always recommend go for a good hypnotherapist, take up demo sessions, and if you want to go and mix it up with talk therapy also, it can have far more better results. It can be done for pain control. Hypnosis can help people with pain due to burns, cancer, childbirth, whatnot. There is something called as hypnobirthing. It is practiced when a woman is put into labor and it releases the pain of labor. So it works so strongly in so many different domains. And it can also be worked for behavior change, sleep problems, smoking, overeating. I have personally worked with cancer patients where we have tried hypnotherapy, and hypnosis has been used to ease side effects from chemotherapy and radiation treatment, and definitely mental health condition. But if you think it does not work out for you, you can go to a therapist, you can go to a clinical psychologist, go to a psychiatrist. Now many a time people ask, do we have any risk for hypnotherapy? Will I go and translate forever and if I don't come back? The maximum that will happen to you, if you go into a trance state and I am not in the room, you will automatically 10-15 minutes come back here and look around the room. Okay, I am normal. You'll automatically be out. So because you do not go to sleep forever, right? You eventually will wake up. Your body is going to tell you to wake up. That's the maximum that will happen. So even if I die on the spot right now and I'm not able to continue the session, you will automatically wake up after a certain point of time. You're not going to be in the trance state forever. So there's no as such side effect. Many at time, if there's a very intense session, you might get a headache or something. That's all, and which will be fine in like 10-15 minutes. So yeah, that's all.
That was really informative, ma'am. I mean, this is something that, again, many people don't know. And it was really important for the awareness to be created regarding it.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. So, moving on to the next question. What do you suggest for all the students out there on how they can contribute to the society in a better way to make an impact in the right direction?
Talk. Start talking. Everything is your problem. Start talking. We are the society. We are creating this society. We are the problem creators. यहाँ पे. I think if there's an issue, talk about it. When somebody says something, कि I think mental health is ऐसे ये वो, interrupt. Tell them that no, it is something serious that needs to be talked about. You always don't have to do campaigns and everything and all the candlelight marches. It starts at a very smaller level. When somebody is bullying a classmate and you interrupt and you take a stand, change starts there. So I think just start talking about such issues, use all your platforms, talk to your friends about such issues. As humans, try to become active listeners, try to be non-judgmental, try to provide that safe space for people that you have always wanted to have for yourself. I think then it will become easy. Just think like the world needs a person like me. The world needs a person that I needed when I was a child, and give that out to the youth or give that out to the circle around you, and automatically a safe space will be developed. So I think start talking, that's all. Don't, if you do not have to, you an introvert, you cannot do major changes, start small. Start with participating in basic small competitions, start with talking to people about it, start healing yourself. Maybe if you cannot even do it with somebody else, start with yourself, and that's all. That's where the change can begin.
Right, ma'am. These sounds like such small steps, but these are huge in themselves. And we
They're
often,
realistic, right?
yeah,
You do not have to go and like clean the entire river on your own. Start by taking small steps at home, for example. Start, it can be any small step, whether you want to start with taking your mental health seriously. Start probably doing small things, start meditating, start taking your 1 hour ka me time every day. Start with yourself. Slowly, slowly, if everybody does some things with themselves, I think a lot of mental health issues will be resolved by our own. Right.
right. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this. Now, moving ahead to the next question. So we all have certain person in our life that we look up to. So who inspires us in many ways. So, who do you consider as your role model in your life?
It will sound very arrogant, selfish, and narcissistic, but I think it's just me. I just look up to myself and I have this thought in my head. Okay, just the statement that I said earlier. I'm gonna become that person that I wanted to have as a child. I'm gonna become that elder sister or that mother or that sibling that I wanted to have as a child, and I build that. So I just look up to my younger self that I have to build something for her. I have to create that safe space for her. I have to change something for her. This is my idea. So, to be honest, nobody out there, but there are many founders that I really appreciate. It can be Karishma Mehta, Humans of Bombay. I love that woman. Whatever she does is amazing. The way she does storytelling is amazing. So certain people like that who've started small, made huge changes just by believing. Yeah, but one person, if I say is my role model, it will be me. I it will be that small 9-year-old girl who should feel proud by the end of the day. So very narcissistic answer, but yes, me by the end, I guess.
No, I mean the idea that you sort of proposed, to be a person you wanted as a child, it's just very deep, I believe, right? Because in the
Right,
process, we actually forget what we sort of longed
right.
for and we did not really had.
Right, right. And if we become that, just imagine for other people out there, we're keeping all the inner childs alive and heal that same place.
Right, exactly. Also, ma'am, the last question from our side. So while going through your profile, we saw a LinkedIn post related to 12 months and 12 lessons in the year 2022. So would you
Oh
like to
God,
elaborate more on your journey of healing?
my journey of healing. It's been messy. I was this rebellious teenager who would fight at everything with my parents, break things, and whatnot. My parents were equally rebellious. I tell you, not like they were very sane. So I come from a very messed up family, and but once I got into the healing profession, I am a very spiritual person, not a religious, but a very spiritual person. In as a human, I just like to work on myself, and I started reading a lot, not fiction or books or something. I started understanding the why behind everything. This is something I say in all my workshops, all my sessions. Anything in life, कुछ भी फील हो रहा है अंडरस्टैंड कर लो उसके पीछे का वाई क्या है कि मुझे क्यों फील हो रहा है ये चीज. Everything becomes easy. When I used to be so angry and I used to say, why don't my parents love me? Why am I such a bad child? I started understanding the why behind it. I started understanding my attachment style. I started studying my parenting styles. Why? Why do I feel this way? And once I started understanding that not others' opinion is my threshold, is not the idea of how I am going to live, things began easy and the healing journey continued. I started educating myself, I started studying, I started taking practical examples and putting them into real life. That's when my healing journey began. And I think we're going good by now. Uh, my healing journey started, I think, 2020 was the phase when I was diagnosed with depression, clinical depression and anxiety. And realizing that, my therapist told me that it has been persistent and it was really minute, but now so many things have been triggered so badly that now it is like a disorder and everything. And we started working together on it. That was the point where I realized that mental health conversations need to be there. Because when I was going through the same as a psychology student, I had no idea what was happening to me. When I used to get panic attacks, I used to go crazy and tell my mom, I don't know, just save me. I just feel like I'll die. And with the idea, with understanding, just out of the books and seeing people, hearing stories, witnessing journeys of change, and all thanks to, there are good therapists out there, there are bad therapists out there. I've seen both. All thanks to the good ones out there, they will be there for your service, at your service, and there are good people out there that can help you out. But start within. I started identifying why behind everything I faced, behind everything I felt, and it became easy. It was difficult to accept at certain point of time. Of course, we are humans. It's very difficult to accept that, okay, so maybe my mother will never love me the way I want her to. Accepting that is very difficult. But once and slowly and gradually that comes in, and you understand that your worth is not defined by how your parents think about you, how your classmates thinks about you. It's not defined by that, but rather how I see myself. That changed. That changed something within me. And I think after doing all the courses and talking to people, the healing journey continued. And it is still continuing. It is a lifelong process. You learn new things, and there's so much to do out there. So you heal forever. And I think that's beautiful. That's tiring, but also beautiful.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this. It was so inspiring to hear about all of this, about how you fought through it and how you got out of it. And all through the session, you mentioned various things that we forget to realize somewhere. And it is very important for people to know those things and realize them as soon as they can in their lives to make it better. And it was so commendable. It was so inspiring. Thank you so much. And with this, today's much awaited interview session has come to an end. We are highly grateful to have received your precious time, ma'am. I, on behalf of the whole team of Thrive and Explain to Tranquility, can say that it was truly an invigorating session, and it was so enlightening to know about your work and the kind of impact that you make in society. Also, a special mention to the founders for their constant guidance and support that helped us pull off such an amazing session. Thanks a bunch once again.